head's cut off. And welcome back to my channel. I am back with another video. I was just planning a bit of blog content, and I thought, or I was looking back through previous blog posts just to make sure I've not actually done this before, and realised I've never actually discussed my coming out story, so I thought, why not? So that's obviously, you've read the title of the video, so you clearly know what it is by now. I'm going to split this into two bits. So the video here on YouTube will be my coming out story, and then over on the blog there will be a post that goes along with this video, which is more kind of advice and tips for if you're going to come out and planning to do it, and you know, just a little bit of advice from one sister to the other. For those of you who don't know, I am gay, in case you haven't guessed. You would never have guessed. I am gay and always have been. And yes, you are born like it. You don't turn gay, which are a few comments I've had before. I came out. Now, I don't know the exact date, but it must have been when I was about 18, I would say. Actually, I will be able to find it out. It was July 2015, so, oh, my maths. Where are we now? 2018. Okay, so I was 18, 19, whatever I was. I actually, came out officially, and my kind of version of coming out is when I told my family. So that's when I tend to say I came out. Going kind of way back, I always knew I was gay. So growing up, I always knew, and always knew I was different. Obviously when you're younger you don't actually know what gay is, and you kind of have no concept of that, but I always knew I was different. I was always quite a delicate flower. When I first knew what gay was, or that I was gay, was year 5. I fancied my year 5 teacher, and it was at the time my parents had divorced, and it was weird, like, the school knew, so obviously, like, my parents had to tell school, and I went in one day, and it was just like everybody knew. People were asking me and stuff, and then on lunchtime my teacher asked me to stay behind, and kind of was asking me about it. I got a bit upset, and he gave me a hug, and I was like, oh. And it was at that moment that I knew I was gay. So we then fast forward a few years. Must have been about year 7. By this point you are 12, maybe? Yeah, you're like 12, 13, so you're kind of teenager stages, and sex is like on everybody's mind, and you're having sex education. I remember being in a sex education class and the teacher kind of going through sexuality, and it was just like the class like looked at me. So I was like, why are you looking at it? Then it must have been about year 8 that I kind of was like, right, I know I'm gay. Like, this is it. Like, in primary school you obviously have your girlfriends, but nothing ever serious. Then I had like a couple of girlfriends in like secondary school, but again, nothing serious. And then year 8, it was like, right, you're gay. Like, I know I'm gay. Like, okay, this is shit. Like, I hated it. It was almost like feeling sorry for yourself. Like, why can't I be like everybody else? Why can't I like football? Why can't I like sports? Why can't I be this like macho, like, ooh, like, you know? So I hated the idea of it. I put it off. Then we get to about year 9. Yeah, we get to about year 9, and my group of friends, who I'd had this group of friends all through school and everything, and we're all like the arts, drama, creative, you know, that lot. So my friends were quite accepting. So basically year 9, start of year 9, I came out to them as bisexual. For me, that was the easy way in. You can kind of go in the middle. That was my way in to the gay pool. Then I kind of instantly regretted it. I was like, ah, shit, like, I've said it now, this is it, I can't go anywhere. Like, I can't say, actually, I'm not bi. Like, when it comes out of your mouth, It's like, this is real. And I think that was the biggest thing for me is as soon as I say it, it's real. And it was always like that with my family, because as soon as I say it to my family, it really is real. Like, you can't change it. So I instantly regretted it, and again, I was still hating it. Like, I kind of told them thinking it was going to be easier, but it just wasn't. Like, it just didn't get any easier. I was like, oh, shit. So, hated it. So I then got a girlfriend. I didn't just like, you'll do, that's how I'm going to do it. I got introduced to this girl who will remain nameless, and yeah, and I kind of thought, okay, like, we got on really, really well. And in my head, it was like, we get on like a house on fire, like, as friends, if that makes sense. But obviously, she didn't think that. And so for me, I was like, okay, well, maybe if I go out with her, this won't happen. Like, I won't be gay. Sounds stupid now I say it out loud, but that's genuinely what was going through my head. I ended it with her. Fun fact, the night I ended it with her, I went out to my friend's house for a sleepover, walked across the park and got attacked by a dog. Therefore, my hatred towards dogs. So I ended it with her by telling her that I was gay. Now, this was the first person I said I was gay to. And I kind of thought I owe it to her to tell her that I'm gay. I think I would hate for her to find out that I was gay by somebody else. Ended it with her, and that was that. Then kind of come out to my friends as gay, and that was that again. That was absolutely fine. And all of this was at school. Then we went to college, because this bitch is smart. Then I went to college and I thought, right, I'm going to be a new person. I can like just go to college and be like, I'm gay. Who goes to my college doing the same course as me? Me ex-girlfriend. We would like walk across the playground and she would like give me daggers and I'd be like, bitch, who are you staring at? Yeah, I know, I'm a bitch. Still, didn't tell anybody I was gay. Not a soul. It was tough. But I made it all the way through college. I told one person, and that was that. And then it was at the end of college, so by this point I'm now 19, and, or 18 going on 19, I had got a job. Somebody outright asked me, and I said I was. I kind of, to my closest friend, like, so to Kate, who you've seen on here before, to Kate I come out as gay and she was absolutely fine with it, and to the people at work, I had come out as gay to them, and they took me to my first gay club, and it was great. Like, it, by this point, I didn't hate it anymore. July 2015, and Tom Daley, the diver, was on the news everywhere because he had just come out as gay. Or did he come out as bi? Or he didn't say what he was. I was like, oh my god, like, have you seen Tom Daley's gay? And like, I fancy Tom Daley, like, And so they were like, this is your chance. Use this to tell your family. So I went home from work, and I was going out for dinner with Kate this evening. Or that evening, I was going out with Kate for dinner, and I was upstairs, and I was like, right, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, real, like, egging myself on. I, like, got everything on, like, my shoes, my coat, everything, so, like, I could tell them and run. It was my mum and it was my little brother sat at the table, and I said, oh, so have you heard Tom Daley's come out as gay? And Mum was like, oh yeah, I always knew it, like, and I think that was everybody's reaction with Tom when he had kind of come out, because it was pretty obvious. And so I go, oh, me too. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, you know, Tom Daley's come out as gay. Me too. Like, oh, hello. And they were eating dinner, and like, my little brother is like taller than me, like a stick insect. But years ago, he was like short and fat. So he was like eating his dinner, and it takes a lot for a fat kid to stop eating dinner. And he was like, come again? And Mum was like, shut up, no you're not. And I was like, yeah, no I am. And she was like, no you're not. And I was like, I kid you not, I am. Like, hands down, I swear to God, I'm gay. And she's like, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not, blah, blah, blah. And she just kept saying no, and I was like, bitch! I think she was just in a bit of a shock, like, whatever. And so she was like, oh, it's just a phase, and I was like, don't even give me that word. And then Kate texted me to say she was outside, and I was like, gotta go, going out for dinner, bye. The next morning, I said to Mum, so are we gonna, like, talk about what happened last night? And she was like, well, what? And she was like, you're just confused. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And once we hashed it all out, it was fine. Like, she seems to think she was joking. I think she just wasn't. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. But now she's fine about it. When I come out, she wasn't. I come out to Dad like 2 days later, and Dad was absolutely 100% fine with it. He was like, to be fair, I've always known, and Dad was so good with it, and yeah, and then everybody else was, and I think I kind of told the rest of the family, and from then on it was kind of easy. It was just easy to, you know, live, because I always remember my biggest nightmare or my biggest fear was that I'd be at a family event and somebody said, oh, so have you got a girlfriend? Or quiz me about relationships, because I didn't want to lie, because I'm an awful liar, but I didn't want them to know the truth. As cheesy as it sounds, it was like the world had been lifted off your shoulders. You kind of start telling everybody, and yeah, and then it was like the easiest thing. The funniest one that I did tell was Emma. And so I went round to Emma's new flat, and I said, oh, I've kind of got some news. And I told her, and she didn't, like, believe me. Like, not that she didn't believe me, but she never knew. She was like, because everybody I told was like, oh, already know, like, guessed it, whatever. She was like, I would never have guessed. I was like, really? Like, I mean, I'm a queen. I was just like, I can't believe that. Like, that she's just like, oh, I would never have guessed it. Like, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, and that was the funniest one. I've been filming for 27 minutes, and this camera films for a total of 29 minutes at a time, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Yeah, that is my coming out story. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something from it, maybe. You know, it's never going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. And once you're out, what's the worst that's going to happen? But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a personal one, and I don't really get deep very often. Check out my blog post, which will be linked below, which is just kind of advice on if you are going to come out as gay. And, you know, I've not really planned it as I film this, so I'm going to kind of sit and plan that in a minute. But yeah, make sure to check that out, like and subscribe to the video, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. It's been a very handy video, isn't it? I'm very handy when I talk.